Hello and welcome back. Happy New Year. Yes, this project is alive. I was able to overcome my lack of motivation and my mental roadblocks, and we've started our first development sprint. I'll share all the details with you in this vlog. Now, just in case you're new here, this series is an unscripted and raw video format where I share our team's journey in building apps for profit. And this entry is dated January 8th, 2024. With that being said, I hope you enjoy this vlog. Hi, welcome back. It's Chris here, and it's time for another vlog. I am ashamed to say that it's been 2 months since the last one, and we have not made any progress since then. I'm shooting this vlog because we are starting to make progress, and I do have some updates to share. But before I share those updates and how things are going now, I do want to talk about why there was a 2-month hiatus, what was going through my head, and what I've learned from that, because potentially this was a app ending hiatus. I think in the past, I would have just abandoned the project and I would have moved on and started something else. So here's what was going through my head. In full transparency mode, this being a vlog, I do want to share my thoughts and emotions so that I could look back on it and so that you could learn from it as well. Or at least see what could potentially happen to someone else. So I think I was scared. That's why I didn't prioritize this. That's why I didn't work on it. Started thinking about, I stopped believing in the idea. And so back in vlog 1 or 2, I was like, I know myself. I need to carry through that momentum. I need to launch this quickly. I need to get this out the door, because the longer it takes, the less of that motivation that I have. And that's a personal problem. That's just my own issues and the way that I am. But I realized, I started reflecting about why I lost belief in this. I think as time goes on and you're spending time working on something, there's always doubt, right? Doubt starts to creep in, and there's this nagging voice telling you, this is not going to work. You're going to waste all your time. It's going to be embarrassing. You might not be able to do this, blah, 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 blah. So that, combined with the fact that I do have other urgent work to do for the business, like recording more content and the courses that we're working on and stuff, it made it such an easy thing for me to just put this on the back burner, just always put this at the bottom of the to-do list, especially because I was not happy with some of the data entry points here, and I wasn't sure how to go about it. So I knew that I couldn't move on unless I figured out this data entry part. And so it was very easy for me to say, oh, I'm going to think about it when I have a big block of uninterrupted time. That's when I'm going to sit down and think about it. But obviously, that's just an excuse that you tell yourself, or that I told myself rather. So here we are 2 months later, and we have restarted. So there is progress on this. I have not dropped this app. Let me explain to you now how I mentally got back on track. I realized that the pressure that I was putting on myself was because I was expecting results. I had dreams on making money with apps. I wanted to build this as the first of many type of thing. And that sort of pressure, I think, actually held me back. What helped move me forward was the thought that I need more practice. I need to release more apps so I can get more practice. And this first app is not going to be anything. So I disconnected results from the actions. And this actually made me feel a lot better to make progress and to move forward on it, because whatever happens, my goal now is to launch the app. My goal is not to try to make as much money as I can through the app. And that would be a happy byproduct. And maybe we'll eventually get there if we iterate on it and we find a segment of the market. But if that doesn't happen, I will work on another app. If I maintain that attitude that this is just practice, it takes the pressure off. The other thing is that instead of trying to tell myself, okay, we're blocked on this, I need to figure this user experience out, I'm not happy with this user experience, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to cut it out for this first launch. I'm going to make it even simpler. I basically said, for this first iteration, we're going to have a little bit of onboarding, just basic entry right here, and like a calendar view so you can review your results. Will that set us apart from the Apple app? Probably not. But you know what? It'll be a win in my book if I actually get this launched because it is practice. So even if it doesn't do well, I would have gained something. I would have gained the experience of launching it. I would have learned a lot from having people use it in the store and getting some sort of feedback, or perhaps getting no traction and no downloads. Either way, whatever happens, I learned something just by going through the process and telling myself that this is practice and simplifying it even more so that I can move forward allows me to continue on with this journey. Okay, so that's where we're at. Let me tell you what sort of progress we've made as a team, because this was a team thing. We have JC doing the design, we have Joash and Iñaki working on the code, and me driving the direction of the project. So we decided to work on this in sprints here. First of all, I had to come up with the vision of what this MVP was. And as I told you, I simplified it even more to basically just onboarding, data entry, not even custom moods, just select a mood type of thing. Being able to look at a calendar view and be able to scroll through your daily moods like that. And so they took those requirements and they broke it down into all of these different areas. And we call this the backlog. So these are all the things that we need to do to get it to that state and launch it. And then we're going to work in 2-week sprints. We estimated effort on each of these tasks. And these are what are called story points. So each of these is a story. And story points represent effort, but it's not a linear effort. It's not like this is 1 day, this is 2 days, this is 5 days, and this is 8 days. So it's something like 1 is low effort, 2 is more effort, like maybe 3 days of effort. 5 would be like a whole week, and I think 8 would be a whole week, and 5 would be multiple days or something like that. Yeah, it's basically not a linear progression in terms of the effort. Each developer commits to a certain number of points per sprint. Because Iñaki and Joash have other tasks at CWC, not just working on this app, I think we said we would do 18 points per sprint for each developer. Hence, we selected different tasks here so that each person would have about 13 to 16 points. And this sprint ends by the end of this week, actually. So then we're going to have a demo, and then we're going to review how the sprint went. And then we're going to do the second sprint where we are going to select more tasks. So based on this, we are estimating that we can launch this app by, I think it was mid-Feb. That's our target right now. So that's what's going on the development front. On the design front, I've told JC that I'm not super stoked about the design direction. And so I have a few ideas of how to change this. It's in flux, so I don't have anything to share there yet, but this design will be changing. And it's, yeah, I guess it's not the traditional way that you would do it. You would typically lock down the design first, but because this app is pretty simple, I think we can make that change. We can be a little more agile. Yeah, so that's where we're at right now. I hope we continue to make regular progress, and I'll share those updates with you. I've realized that building apps is not just a matter of having the right skills, but it's also a big emotional and mental part of it, especially if you are trying to get specific results from your apps. All right, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you next time.